You ever been there?
Buy it, but I've never gone to.
Well, it's a nice setup building. I mean, it's nice, but some of the main things that was coming out of the rural summit is, these small businesses want to get established in all these counties and stuff. Well, they're looking at the county for help, for money. Can you help me do this? Can you help me do that? There's not very many counties that have the tax base to do it. And now they have 3 different organizations. And yes, I just made the comment, there's way too much red tape to go through to get these things started.
Right.
I mean, this one lady says, I've spent 3 months filling out paperwork, and I'm not any further than I was the first day I walked, So that was the main focus on that. And then another thing they kept preaching was, I don't know where they're getting their information. I haven't heard a whole lot on it. FEMA, I don't know whether they're flexing their muscles or what, but they're telling all these cities and counties, get all your rules and regulations in order. There's someone there to enforce them, because if you have a disaster or something and you don't have them in place, we may not help.
Yep.
And you also may not be able to write for grants if you don't have this stuff done. So
That's similar to what FEMA said during our flood.
Yeah.
We were lucky to have our ducks in a row.
So, and then we had a mental health meeting yesterday. The biggest thing that bothered me more than anything is, it says approved decision to stop reimbursement of mental health medication to regional jails. And what it is, the government is withholding 5% of our money, and it figures out just about to the penny what it costs right now to cover the medication while the prisoner in jail.
We have to cover them, but as soon as now they're taking over, they don't have to.
Right.
They don't want to.
And you have to start a whole new program once they're released. Our law enforcement officer comes from Fremont County, Buffalo. He's a very nice guy. He was telling us, he says, we have 3 people in our jail. They have to be celled separately. So he says, we're cut down on capacity. One is from Nebraska, one is from California, and one is from local. The local person is costing the county $25,000 a month. Because nobody will take them on the outside.
And we have to provide them services.
And if he turns them loose, he's still responsible because he was the last medical person they had. He says, I don't know how long we're gonna be able to do this, but
Yeah. I've always said that. You don't have health insurance and you need open heart surgery.
Yeah.
Just go to Casey's.
Yep.
Steal a candy bar, take off the $10, $20 worth of gas. Drive down the road. When they pull you over, just take a swing at them. That way they're gonna put you in jail, and then you're under our care. It's
Yep.
sad.
Yeah.
But that's the way the rules read. Boy.
there's gonna be 10 people from each district, which amounts to 70 people in the state of Iowa,
Yep.
controlling behavioral health. There'll
It's
be
gonna get worse before it gets better.
3 supervisors from each district, and then you got child environment, child protection. There's 3 on child, there's 2 on adults. You have to have law enforcement, medical. Yeah. So it's gonna be a challenge to get all this, and it's all supposed to be done by the 1st of March coming up. I'll see how it's gonna work, but that's all I have. All good news.
Yeah, I had a short week, not much going on. I met with Veterans Affairs. They'll be in later. You see it on the agenda, but their sidewalk parking lot replacement to make it drain right and do it the right way. You have to pull out a little more, replace a little more concrete there. So they'll be
Thanks,
in
Patrick.
pretty good. Thank you, Patrick. That's all I have.
Okay. Mr. Christensen, you wanna come up to the table, being the engineer, and you have to on a road, so closure of the museum coming up.
Yeah, we'd like to make sure it's still able to close it down the 19th and 20th on 380th from in front of the museum drive down to the curb there at the park.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just hope the corn's still standing by then. Some of it doesn't look good.
That looks pretty good. I drove by it this morning on the way up. Unless we get some major winds or something.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna close that, Jeff?
Right at the south drive of the museum. So it'll be right there down to the curve. Probably let them go straight on the gravel there to,
Head south.
yeah, they can go south right there and stuff, but if we could just close it off there in the curve, because we'll have, where your arrow's at there will be the corn husking event on Charlie Vestal's there. So we'll be taking wagons and horses and people will be crossing there.
Cool.
For a couple days worth there. So we're expecting, I don't know, between probably 1,500 to 6,000 people, I suppose,
Good for you
coming
guys.
into there. That's kind of a rough guesstimate. I really don't know.
Yep.
But,
That's this weekend?
no, it'll be the 19th and 20th, and
Of
actually of October. The 17th and 18th, the American Brabant Society is going to bring in their draft horses, and they're putting on a nationwide event Thursday and Friday. So there'll have to be about 150 people there those days, but we don't need the road closed off during that. So I just wanted to touch base. I'd been in here earlier this spring about it, but I just wanted to double check and make sure it was still all right.
Typically what we do in the past with stuff on the weekend is we can put them out there, just like lay them down in a ditch or off to the side, and then you guys move them out. Is that fine with you guys?
He's perfectly fine.
Okay, and then when you're done, Sunday evening or whatever, just put them aside, we'll pick them up Monday.
We can do that. Do I need to get with the state on up on the highway of turning traffic or anything like that, or is that something
If
you
you're gonna
guys
do
take care of?
anything on the state, then yeah, you have to get a permit from them.
Okay.
Would West handle that, or would the local people?
The guy is, his name's Nick. No, we just did, I don't know. It's Nick something, but it's for working within the right of way. But it was pretty quick, because we just did one on Levi, and we got the permit within a week.
Okay.
They just wanna know, and then you have to talk with the maintenance guy out there. I don't think it's gonna be Mike Miller. I think it's, I forget his name. He's Nick.
Who notifies dispatch and the sheriffs, just that the road's closed? Is that something you do, or is that something they do, or is that something we need to do?
Nick Moga. Information there. We typically put it on our road notification, and then, I'm pretty sure that Travis is linked to that. So
Okay.
they can see, but, we'll let them know.
Yeah, Travis will be in here today too, so we'll run the thing when we go.
Yeah. So, yeah, to put any signs there, 'cause you're thinking just to do like,
Well, before, a couple of years ago when we did it, we just, I don't even remember who was in charge of it, but We just had, they had their billboard type signs that said caution, cross traffic or whatever coming each way, so they knew to kind of slow down for the event happening there, because, you know, you pop over the hill there isn't a whole lot of time coming, especially from the east there, but
Who had the signs up?
DOT,
They did. Yeah. Okay.
they had their big orange,
Yeah.
whatever, I don't know, billboard type signs.
Yeah, what we would do is just, you know, coming off the intersection, put road closed ahead.
Yeah,
Barricades there, barricades there.
yeah.
Road closed ahead on
And
James.
when we're done with our event at 9, we can open it up and let everybody through.
But yeah, to get the DOT, you wanna give him a
Yeah, I'd
call
give
then?
him a call and see what they can do or what they recommend.
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions or anything about the event or?
I don't. Do you have a schedule, Vince?
Yeah, yep. So it'll be 100 years of picking corn, so. Started in 1924 over at Alaman, Iowa. 100 years of
You guys do a good job over there, thank you. It's neat.
It's real, I'll tell you what, go watch this, how it's done.
Yeah,
I mean, you get docked on silks on corn
Yep,
and the hair that's left on the ear. When they bring them in to judge them, it's all stripped off and it's put on a gram scale. And you get docked so much a gram for leaving stuff on the ear. I mean, it's interesting. Well, I'll tell you what, those pickers, they pay attention when they're cleaning things up. I
they
mean,
do.
you know, and some of them old boys, I'll tell you what, you can count almost every, you can just start counting. And the ears will hit the bang board every time.
The good ones will have 4 years going in the air all the time.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's
neat.
it's amazing to watch them if they get in the rhythm and go right down through there. I think last year we had a 90, he was in his 90s, 91, 92. Couldn't hardly walk. Walked with a cane, walked out, they hauled him out to the edge of the field and he started picking, hooked his cane on that wagon, and you could have swore that he was a 20-year-old guy. He just, otherwise he couldn't walk, but when he's picking that corn,
He can get it.
he gets flushed right
I
down
was there, they had 4 generations. They had great grandpa, they had grandpa, they had dad, and they had the boys. And they followed one another down through the field. And I'll tell you what, that was,
Yeah.
people, you know, and it's kind of neat to, the kids are learning, you know, this is the way it used to be done. And yeah, you can say that combine, and it's a lot simpler, but no, it was an art.
It is. So we'll have 9 states are in the thing, but any state can, people from any state can come and qualify on Saturday to compete on nationals on Sunday. So there'll be, usually there's 2 guys that come out of Alaska that come down to compete out of Alaska and all over. So kind of interesting. If you got time, come by and stop by one of those 2 days, but
Do we need a formal action?
I don't think so. I don't know what,
As long as you guys are working together.
okay.
Involve the sheriff, involve dispatch, it's really public safety.
Just wanted to double check.
Email?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, and that's my personal phone number, so if you have any questions or anything,
All right.
go from there.
Perfect, thank you very much.
Thank you for your time and have a good day.
thank you. Hope everything goes well.
I do too.
I was gonna go to it, and then I accidentally planned the fishing trip.
Good for you.
What? What?
North of Chamberlain. 4 times.
Friends, family?
Just a buddy.
We're all gonna follow you.
We've never been there.
Right.
Should we just go get you? Or I will. Because Elizabeth's not here.
But Jacob is. We haven't done this.
We haven't done Jacob yet. Yeah, oh, okay. I thought maybe he wanted to sit here all morning.
You can hang out all day, Jacob.
By the way, here's a big slip.
And you just sitting there like, okay.
One way of telling you, Richard. Smooth way of saying goodbye.
Right?
Leave yourself.
You want a bead blaster?
Kevin couldn't get it done, so now I'm trying.
Well, I don't know. Here, this could be your no vote, Bonnie.
It's October 1st,
Right.
and I'm requesting permission to purchase a budgeted bead blasting cabinet for total shipping, everything, $2,067.93.
That was to who?
This is TP Tools and Equipment. It's online. We have a video if you guys want to watch what it does.
Quick
Yeah.
with it. Good. There's a budgeted item and we got some tax money
We
in.
budgeted 2,000 for it. So,
Good.
I've been hitting these pretty good.
I'll make the motion to approve that.
We're only 10,000 under on that.
Yeah.
I will step down and second it and say I appreciate you guys being, you know the reason why. And I didn't know what the price was gonna be. I didn't ask Kevin that day. I just asked him to hold it off and he said he would.
No, that's fine.
We have a motion made and seconded to buy a bead blaster cabinet for $2,067.93. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. LRTF agreements.
Okay, if you guys are familiar, these are the grants that we write because of our IRM program. They get funding for some equipment. So this is a resolution saying that we wish to enter into 2 agreements with the Iowa DOT to accept a total of $18,000 in funding assistance. The LRTF stands for Living Roadway Trust Fund. And then after that, we'll do the separate agreements. So they're for I call it a tree drift remover, tree puller attachment to a skid loader. What was it that looked them out? That is, grant amount is $3,000, our matching fund is $750. A total of $3,222.17.
Nice.
How much again? 3 what?
3,000 for that one
222217.
is the total project cost.
Only 750 of our money.
The next one is for a 25-foot boom mower. And this is something that we had planned to purchase either way, and then we decided, we actually held off a little bit, like, let's see if we can get some funding for it. They did award us $15,000 towards the boom mower. Our matching funds are $70,872.94. So we priced a tractor and boom mower, and then this is to cover a portion of just the boom mower. We cannot get funding for the tractor.
You budgeted for it, though, it's a planned expense.
Yeah, so we budgeted, I think, $220,000 for the tractor and the mower.
Okay.
And so I'll be bringing that. We got quotes. I think with our trade-in, we're actually gonna be closer to the 200 range. So that and then 15. So sitting well with that. And that's replacing a 20-year-old tractor. And again, this is, if you remember, this is one of the things when I first came in 3 years ago, that people had one of their biggest complaints is because they want the joystick and right out the levers. I'm trying to run that thing, so they won't be.
I'd trade if I could afford it. It's a real pain.
Yeah, that's what
I have
hear.
one I put on my tractor and try and run with hydraulic sticks, you know, then convert to a button. One button's real active, one button's lazy. It's supposed to be easy. Hardwired.
That was easy,
You
yeah.
Yeah.
I will make the motion to approve the LRTF agreements.
So first on the resolution.
Yeah, he said it to split.
I got you. All right, I will make a motion to approve resolution
Oh.
2433 to accept the LRTF grants for IM program.
I will second. We'll have roll call.
Crouch,
Yes.
Mayberry,
Yes.
I'm trying to think of how much money we've got from that program. You got
It's always a few thousand here and there. It's good.
18,000 for each year. It's gotta be close to over 40.
Check my yes, would you, please?
no, 'cause my ink is different, I'm sorry, I started at the deer.
Okay.
It'll show that I did it.
Do you write absent or just leave it blank?
It depends on the situation, sometimes they'll come in later if they wanna contribute to their vote, but you can, I've done absent on here already. So,
Just leave it there, so then I copy for you. Just look at it. Okay. So for the agreement, it's just authorizing me to sign. And, authorizing official signature, this is what we did the last go around. And then Kyle Anderson wrote everything, we did this. We fill this out and send it back to the DOT, and fill it out, and we'll be ready to purchase.
I will make the motion to have you be the
Yep, authorize me to sign.
authorized our engineer, Jake, to sign the agreements with the LRTF program.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Both seasons of
Is it?
today.
Have fun cleaning up the
But I
state.
would rather be here with you guys. Here I am. All right, general discussion. We had quite a busy week. I was in Des Moines and St. Joe, Missouri, and then Ames. And while Kevin and I were gone, we did the scrub seal, Broadmoor, Levi, and they finished up seal coating, so.
We did part of the city's Ingram Avenue.
Yeah. Not very overly impressed with the scrub seal. They said nothing about having windrows of sand this tall along the whole road. I'll go in there after this, take some pictures. Don't have a discussion with him.
I don't know that one, the people come out and pick a lot of it up.
I heard that. The thing is, it was our sand, so a lot of times in a contract, you know, the contractor's having to buy that material, they don't wanna just waste it. Well, in this case, we already had our sand for winter and we just loaded it, so they obviously weren't careful with spreading out too much and wasting it, so. Didn't have a discussion with that. Obviously, they went into the city and Kevin's on the phone with the contractor. Did you see the NA County maintenance? Said, yeah, I saw it, but my paper says 1.83 miles. But you didn't think to stop and call them. So we had to match it up, that way it looks uniform
Right.
through there.
It looks good.
And then, obviously, they're gonna deduct all that, if that's on there, so. So, yeah, we'll see how it performs.
I'll
Yeah,
say
the way
this
it
much.
looks and the way it did, I think.
I'm glad to see that it's marked back out.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people, especially after the ball game and stuff, Friday night, driving home on that black road. It was a challenge.
Yeah.
But now that it's marked and stuff, it looks good.
And that's what's frustrating too, because it's a separate contractor that we didn't work with them. It's our own painters. We lined them up. And so we've had them lined up and they tell us, yep, we're gonna be there Friday. And then they show up and, forecast is look good, we're gonna postpone it. So then our painter's supposed to come Monday and they say, well, we're gonna actually do it Tuesday. So the painters have to keep adjusting their schedule.
Yeah.
Because it was gonna be
They painted last
the day
night.
after.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's done. Broadmoor, I drove that. That looks great.
Good.
Ride's great. I mean, that one, that's top notch.
I'm glad we fixed that the right way too.
Yeah, that is really good. Levi, that's really good. It's just the
See
paint
that.
markings are,
Yeah, I've had compliments on,
sure what happened
They're
there.
a little
on the
squiggly here and
streets
there.
in Mineola. People are very appreciative. They said, thank the engineer.
Yeah, we've been rocking it. I mean, we're pretty ambitious coming in with these projects and, I mean, we've been knocking them out, so.
Good.
Yep, Levi's looks good. We'll have to get, some areas, the shoulders dropped off pretty good, so we'll get some material on that,
We put another 2 inches on that,
inch and a half.
inch and a half.
And worked with the people, make their transitions good to their driveways and all that, so I think it turned out really well. The pavement markings are just, that's one of them jobs, hopefully you get it right, because you can't just peel up the tape and redo it.
Right.
So, unfortunately, I have to live with it a little bit. Seal coat is all done. What we have now is, the 400th Street Bridge, we have pre-construction meeting on Friday. Hoping to start that in the next couple of weeks. It's all dependent on that permit. We have not officially received permit back yet. We're hoping anytime. And then, page 12 is still in design. The 360th Street box culvert is coming along in design too. And then out on 340th, on Dobney, west of 340th, there's a large culvert pipe. I believe it's 42 or 48 inches. We had kind of one outlet sections broke off in a sinkhole with some of those big rains. So we're working right now. Vance, our new tech, is working on doing design for that and then do a drop in one and fix that up. So that's a perfect project for him to kind of dip his toes into. So got that in the works. And then we're still trying to make a decision and hire a grader operator because we know winter's right now. Safety action plan, our meeting is next Tuesday, so I won't be at the meeting. Hopefully you guys can attend the afternoon session, the morning and afternoon. It's where, Kimberly and Horn has been working with all the counties to put together this action plan. And so it feels backwards, but they do this workshop. We just rent out the space. They're coming, they're presenting, they're bringing the material. And then after the meetings is when they talk with me about project selection. So it feels backwards, like I should know your projects and then we have a meeting, but I think the meeting is to help facilitate what are the better projects. So.
Good.
And then Malvern, the Hughes boys have moved in, so we started construction on that. Hopefully get that done before the end of the year.
I saw the buildings tore down, so.
Yep, we got it tore down, graded out, and then,
Are we tearing that down?
we did tear it.
We did.
Yep, we did it, and then we did the grading for the additional concrete. And then, the pipe going to the septic was old, and so while we had it exposed, because we didn't see exactly where it was, we went ahead and fixed that too, so.
It might have been peach grant. Piping back then was called peach grant.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They said it looked really old.
Yeah, it just finally deteriorates to the
Like Orangeburg, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we are staying busy for sure.
Good.
So,
Thank you, sir. No, that's all I have.
no, I just had 2 phone calls on the markings on the pavement, and I said, hey, when we scheduled to get it done and got it done, the painting crew probably couldn't keep up with it, yeah, out here. And they says, oh, you are gonna paint it? I said, yes, it will be painted.
Well, we had signs out.
Yeah, I know, but people don't.
It's funny, when I went home from our church meeting last night, it says no pavement markings, it was painted, so I was gonna take a picture and send it to you.
Yeah. Same thing with Levi, because they still have their signs out. And those aren't ours, these ones are ours.
Yeah.
I can get these out. It's not what you think you do.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Enjoy your week.
What up, Elizabeth?
Okey-dokey.
How are you this morning?
I am fine.
Good.
Did your wife send those pictures I sent? Your boys were playing Saturday?
Oh, yeah, yes.
I was up there for Sarah.
Yeah, she did.
And I had to start cheering on the other team because they absolutely wiped up EBU. And I knew players, so yeah, so it was good. Everybody was happy.
Cool. We couldn't make it.
That's what she said. She said you're a busy good team, or Tiffany was there and she had told me, so I started sending pictures tomorrow. Yeah. I'm sure you have 100 like similar looking
We
pictures.
had to run a couple parents to step in for us. So thank you for doing that.
Oh, no, Tiffany told me, so I was like, I didn't even think about it, I'm just watching the band, so. She told me, no, leave her boys alone. Okay.
So we have a cost increase, fixed concrete. Lonnie and I took a look at it and agreed, to what had to be done. Did they get it, did they pour anything yet or not?
Yes, it's all poured. He started cutting lines last night, he was concerned about the weather temperature changes and the wind. And then he finished up those, he should have the lines finished today, and he has the concrete poured in the 2 patches that are right by the house or the office. So he has to finish whatever you do after the lines, and then, put the poles in, the safety rails or whatever by the back door. So that's it. He said it would take about a week to dry, and he'll leave his cones up until it's done.
I should sit for a good day.
Yeah,
Good
he's been
5 days.
really neat too, I'll have to admit, yeah, I think he's doing a nice job, so. And I will formally say, there's the camera, hi camera. Okay, no, I really do appreciate the 2 of you responding promptly, coming out the next day, because I really felt at a complete loss of what to do, and I didn't want him to walk away for, 2 weeks before I would see you guys, and you get a chance maybe, and get it approved. I wanted to get it done, so thank you very, very much, appreciate it.
It's a good project. It needs to be fixed right.
It does. No, yeah, like both of you knew just by looking at it, and he was so explaining to me what was wrong. I didn't know what the slope and this and all that stuff meant, so.
I saw his level out there. I knew we had it.
Yeah.
I knew it needed to go.
And you weren't even out of your truck and you started pointing things out at me, Richard. So I went, okay, cool. They understand what he's talking about and they know what needs to be done, so I appreciate it.
Total cost on the project?
Total cost, I think previously it was 93. So it would be 13.8. I think it was 93 previously, so 13.8 with the 4,500 for the addition. And he did tear up more cement than what he had told us. He did go all the way up to the door of the garage, so there was maybe 3 squares, 4 squares. And it's not charging or anything. He just, when I started cutting out the rest, I went, I'm leaving that a little bit because it would drive me crazy. It wouldn't look good. So he pulled that out too.
Okay. Well, I will make the motion to approve the extra work. We've already approved the initial project, correct? And the extra work of $4,500. Who was that to again?
Noah Guzman.
Noah.
How'd you pronounce the last? Because
I think it's Guzman. And Noah is spelled N-O-E, by the way. It's a little different. And I can send you, if it's different, I'll send you.
Thank you.
What it is, yeah.
For the extra $4,500 if I didn't finish that.
Second,
It's just my.
the motion made and seconded to approve the additional $4,500 in concrete work at the Veterans Affairs Administration Building. Any other discussion?
I had a question, I just want to clarify, this isn't gonna come out of our budget, right?
No.
It's-
Well,
You don't have it? Yeah, okay, I'm just being sure.
I was gonna state that in my motion. We'll have to make that soon.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
No, I don't want to mess with it, he's working so hard. I don't want to do that to him.
Right.
Any other questions, concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
It's a good building, good location. It's worth keeping up.
It really, really is. We are constantly getting people to come in and just see the sign and stop. The location can't be beat.
Right.
It really,
Well, once we
really
get
is
that
good.
back room and it's all ours, then we're really better.
Yeah, I would like to look into trying to get some grant funds to do some remodeling. There are some things to do. And I think we can get it. It's just a matter of doing it done. I do have one little thing
Line 8.
I just wanted to share with you guys. Hey, Richard, just real quick, just an update. At the end of the fiscal year, I told you guys about House File 259.
Yep.
It was going to be changing the status or definition of a veteran. So the only really big difference would be that any disabled military member who previously wasn't considered a veteran in Iowa, because he didn't have enough time in service basically, would now be considered a veteran based on the fact that he had a VA compensation rating.
Sure.
This has not been formally changed yet, and I've been told on our little thing that assessors may be sending out notices of disallowance because the rules and regulations haven't been updated yet. So I'm not sure, we'll look into it. We have training here in 2 weeks down in Des Moines, so I'm sure we'll get the updates, and our association knows and is working on it, but we may have veterans that are a little upset. Or people that come in and just, I was told this has changed, and it has, but the rules haven't been updated.
Okay.
So just FYI,
It's gone through the system and been approved the whole way, it's
Yeah.
just not physically on the system.
Yeah.
Showing it.
so, yeah, she signed it at our last training, the governor was there. It's all done.
Do we know about how many more that's gonna include? in the-
I don't know, I think I thought I might pop down and visit with Christina and just ask. Come to the assessor's office if she knows anything. I can't believe more than a handful,
But if you keep her informed too,
Yeah.
then it'll save us all.
but just a heads up, like I said, so you know that it is changed.
Mhm.
The other people haven't caught up with it yet, so. That's all.
Wonderful.
Thank you, gentlemen.
That was one thing we
Thank you.
discussed yesterday,
Oh.
and mental health. This was brought up, and Suzanne and the other two ladies said the same thing. They got the cart before the horse before the cart. Things aren't working, and it makes it tough trying to take care of different ones and what they're allowed to get and stuff, so. It's just I just figure it's just another screw up they can't figure out yet.
Well, it's a nice way to make people happy, and no, they still have to wait another year before they're gonna see that benefit.
And take care of the veterans.
Oh, that kind of interesting, so anyway, I won't say anything more,
Plus, because it's a year limit.
yeah. So, but if we were telling people already in June to start filing, so the paperwork could be in when it changed.
Right, but even in,
Yeah.
they're not paying 24, 25 taxes, they're paying it.
Yeah, 23,
Yeah.
24, yeah, so it's just frustrating, but yeah. Okay.
Welcome to our world.
No, thanks. That's enough of that.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thanks, gentlemen, appreciate it, thanks, Amy.
Let me get water and I'll give you, okay?
Okay. I thought this was your job.
How are you today, buddy?
Apologies for my lateness. I was greeted by Mr. George Weber
I
from at the window.
saw that when I came up.
Understood. You'll be here at the end, won't you?
Maybe I'll have that list for you. Here soon. I've been trying to go through the list that the drug court uses for centers.
Oh, thank you.
Fortunately, a lot of them are on the Omaha side because they're.
Right, and it doesn't say we can't do that.
Oh,
It's just, because it's Iowa. It would be nice to keep it in Iowa.
Okay, so it's preferred but not a necessity.
That's my understanding,
Okay.
but highly
That helps a
preferred.
little bit then.
Yeah.
It's just me today.
I
It
was
is
gonna
better than
say,
somebody
this
driving
is a
2
tough
hours to go
audience
see a
here.
family member.
You know, it's just a lot of them, it's drug court fees, like, they're not careful, like, whether it's in Iowa or Russia, you're just more concerned.
Your
It
pocket's
has
full of money now?
to, has to have
Yeah.
that person.
Yesterday.
Oh, no, I paid mine last night.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Need
most
to
of the
blow.
drug courts, like, they're just like,
Okay.
I don't care where it's at, as long as, like, when they're gonna
Hi,
get.
guys.
cases
Want a
out,
chair?
get 'em there. Like,
Table?
that helps with the amount I can put on the list then.
You doing young?
Yeah, I haven't responded.
She's not here today.
It's like-
She's not here. You need to, otherwise,
$29,000 credit out the first half of
It's all good.
taxes, so-
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I, like, it came through right after we spoke. I was still here, but we closed last night and went, that was convenient, just at this minute. And
Yeah.
they're not just yet,
Okay.
they're at the end, yep.
I don't know, is it just dirty or is it? Got a
What's
film in
the
it
matter?
or?
Well, that's why Steve is supposed to come in so we can have a discussion on it.
What's wrong with it? Other than it needs clean.
That's the discussion.
Okay. That's a little broken.
Yay.
Oh, no.
Oh, you
they're not.
can-
Right. Yes.
Oh, you wanna abate some more taxes?
Yes. The
Well-
first one is resolution 2431.
These are the same ones she came in last week,
Yeah.
but now there's resolution.
How much?
This is for Emerson, City of Emerson, $506 even. It's for,
No, you showed us that.
yeah, 605 Manchester.
I will make the motion to approve resolution 2431 abating taxes to the city of Emerson for the total of $506. 605 Manchester.
I'll second the motion. And this is just property that they,
Yes, they took
Even
over
if
as
they
a
took over.
maintenance abatement,
okay.
or abandonment.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Crouch,
Yes.
Mayberry,
Yes. Mouse always freezes when we need it. Patrick's right there.
Travis, would you ask Patrick?
When he gets a minute, it's not even.
He's with emergency services.
He is, yeah, we have emergency services. yeah, we have our
Mine's a pencil.
IT guy.
You need pen?
I will give it back.
What's your favorite one? I have that.
Frozen again.
Was,
It was, yeah.
I did the back. Where my tiny pad in my head. Stood up on the right.
Thank you.
'Cause I did
I
my
have one of my deal here and
It's great. For the first 1 minute.
You got pencils and pencils?
I got playing pencils.
And the second one is resolution 2432. It is for 602 South Locust Street here in Glenwood. It's the Mills County Veteran Affairs Building. And I would like to abate their taxes in the amount of $1,492.00. They thought they were going to be abated this year anyway. There was no money in their budget to pay taxes.
Sure. I will make the motion to approve resolution 2432, abating taxes on the Veterans Affairs Office at 602 South Locust.
I'll step down and second that. You want me to reread it, or are you all right with it? Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Crouch,
Yes.
Mayberry.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why we keep him around. He's on the Bluetooth, yeah. Whatever it is. Just make fun of him.
If you got your notes from the meeting that you had yesterday, we printed out for you last week.
Hey, the weekend was not good. Oh, it was good, but,
Great.
there was too many people pulling my tail.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you guys. Taxes went well.
Very
We had very few problems.
A lot of paid years and
Yeah, we had a lot of people pay a year. The biggest thing was the summary sheet. On some people, it was exactly
You
right.
said
On
that, yeah.
others, it wasn't. So I don't know if that's something we'll try again. I've got to talk with the POS and they wanted to know how things went. And I told them I had trouble with the summary sheet. So
Sure.
we'll revisit that. I think part of it is I send everything out by address
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
to save postage. So
Well, and good, thank you for that. It's hard to keep them all straight.
Yeah,
A lot of
it is.
people that have a lot of different corporations and
yes,
one can be under Jill and one can be under Jill and her husband and.
Right, and
under
that's
Jill's
exactly-
trust and.
that's exactly what we're doing. But otherwise, most people were very pleased. A lot of people's homes went down
Homes did, yeah.
and so they were very pleased with that. So,
Either that or they just kind of equaled out.
yes,
People were,
right.
Homes went down, land went up.
Mhm. So, okay, well, thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ready for it? Quick things. Okay, good morning. As you know, the emergency management specialist position is open. We have quite a few good applicants. And of those, we pulled in 4 and we interviewed them. And the one that we selected is actually our current dispatcher in Mills County Iowa 1. So last Thursday, we had that approved by the Mills County Emergency Management Commission. And a part of that process is I have to come to you all and present you with the approval of the transfer form here. So Morgan Alexander, she will be starting, well, the projected start date is November 4th. And that is a Monday. That's,
And that was approved with Jolene on
Yes,
the date,
with
perfect.
the, yep, and working with
Thank
Jolene, kind of with the pay periods and everything. I just,
Good.
making sure that everything's kind of on track there, works for her. But really, that's all kind of already been ironed out. I will present her with a hiring letter from the commission. And once this is done, I'll go into, to also be a part of the trial for her. Yes,
Really, that's dispatcher.
I currently have 2 in training. Charity is about to come off. November 1st is kind of her projected, to be released. And then Danielle Paulson is currently on what is that, month 3? But the position is open and we are taking, applications.
Good.
Reviewing those.
I'll make the motion to approve the interdepartmental transfer of an employee from communications to emergency management.
did you see her last name, Morgan?
Alexander.
Is there any pay scale change that needs to be addressed in here?
That's really kind of been worked to the commission and Jolene, so from a pay scale standpoint, I wouldn't say so. She will have a different hourly rate, but that has all been budgeted for within the commission.
Right, but I think they have to have it on here now.
I would say, yeah, that's all done on the commission side of things. If it needs to be, you can, but it's all, that hiring letter has been presented to the commission, has been approved, her hourly rate, that will all be given to Jolene within that.
Right.
Not a new position either. There was,
It's not a new
it's already a budgeted position.
Yep, it's already
Yeah.
budgeted, it's been approved by the commission, yep.
Do we want to list her salary? Not, is it salary or hourly?
It's an hourly position.
Hourly.
That is reflected within the minutes for the Mills
Okay.
County Emergency Management Commission. That has been completed.
So I guess here's my question, who's writing the check, is it coming through?
The Mills County Emergency Management Commission. It's within their budget.
Right, no, I understand that.
Yep.
Okay.
I think we're all right.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying and what I'm thinking, but being we're gonna have it in their minutes, they'll be published anyway, so.
If it was a new position, keep being created, it'd be different. It's already one budgeted to another person department, so I think we're good.
I will second the motion to the transfer employee from communication and emergency management of Morgan Alexander. Any other questions, discussions? Not all those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
So I'll just require the signature and then I can make a copy. And then we can either have it here, and I'll make sure that Jolene has it.
Personnel file.
Yep. And I take this off.
Everything's, it's hardest.
I do think I think I caught something with my kids being back to school, that whole cocktail of elementary kids and, and then along with, some of the other stuff kind of going on out there too.
That's unbelievable. Today was beach day at the school. My granddaughter comes in with her sunbonnet on, her glasses. She had to take the towel. I said, "We can do with the towel." "Well, Papa, you have to have a towel on the beach." And her beads and, things in her backpack, and I'm going,
Sunscreen on her nose.
oh, it's,
Yeah, so the high school had theirs is Y2K.
Hmm.
So they're supposed to dress like the 2000s, so Rebecca was like, still going back to her older sisters.
come back, rob some clothes.
And well, we didn't have the clothes for her, she was like, trying to figure out, okay, would Jordan have worn this?
So one of them supposed to be pajama day, or have I missed it?
Not for the high school,
No.
yeah, yesterday they had it with that. Orange or something, they're all not sort of gray. So kind of earlier today, but,
Great.
Who works
Yeah, really?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
You have your driver's license by any chance?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Turning their numbers around. And so
Oh, here, you have to sign this.
Oh, I have to say that, they're just bored, they're right here.
everything, just. Yeah. Like, I have.
Good, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But do you think everything went all right with the ice cream as far as?
So from
so,
my perspective, within the emergency management side, nothing really met that, size, scope, complexity for that level of an incident. I would say I was reviewing the call for services within 911. There are, of course, some erratic drivers, speeding, things like that, traffic, some minor bumps and bruises probably down there within the parking lot. As there's quite a bit of cars in the area. It doesn't look like anything too far out of the normal of what we have, associated with the ice cream cruise.
Mark Lincoln just made the comment to me yesterday. He said, "Richard, don't know what you did, but he says it's 100% improvement over last year.
Good.
Traffic flow was great. He said we had no heavy stopovers, you know, of big car bus, you know, we all gotta sit there and move at
Agreed.
once, you know, and stuff, but he says, no, everything, you know, the traffic lights and stuff, I think they changed them, where they operated better. And the flow of traffic,
I will give it, you know, to the sheriff's department, the state patrol that, you know, and then getting that light, I think, changed. And also the racetrack, you know, between the folks who are putting it on, the promoters, but then, you know, the raceway itself, probably with the additional signage, you know, all that stuff they invested in probably really helped, so. No, I'm glad
okay.
that it all.
They're asking for a road closure on the 19th and 20th.
Rick's doing it, it's approved. It's just,
Okay,
you know,
I'll,
up to about 6,000 people will be there.
I'll show my folks downstairs.
It could be-
I'll call you back on the meeting.
Okay.
This is where they're gonna close the Patrick, Travis Ridge
Can you
over
keep right there? Okay,
there, right in front of the museum.
old 34 there, where it hits, yep. All right.
And then they're gonna talk with the DOT on traffic slowdown and stuff there at the intersection.
And this is just an event that they're putting on right there at the Indian Museum
Right.
itself. But they're gonna shut
Right.
that down on both
Could it
sides.
be anywhere from 15 to 6,000 people?
Okay. All right, we have a date, October 19th and 20th. I'll have to I'll put some through the National Weather Service. More than likely, it's just gonna be dry, so we don't have to really worry about severe weather, but, speaking of that, open burn ban did go into effect this morning. I shot that out to everybody.
Good.
But that is in effect, and we'll just continue to evaluate conditions and see what it looks like over there.
There's enough smoke from the combines right now that it's unbelievable.
Yeah, even if we could prevent, you know, somebody's burn barrel or something skipping into a field, I think that that's for the better, so. All right, thank you so much.
Thanks, sir.
Welcome, Stephen.
How we doing? Okay,
First thing is your window and awning cleaning.
yeah. This Momentum, who does the window cleaning down at the sheriff's department, gave us a bid to clean that awning on the north side, which is pretty well covered with mold, mildew, and that kind of stuff, for $340. I haven't had anybody else do it. That was just something that Amy kind of threw out there. So we're kind of looking into that. They also gave me a price for repairing the gutters. We talked about that before. And his total was $9,000. So I don't know that we probably want to go with those guys.
9,000 or 900?
Oh, do what I give you? I'm sorry, Richard, this one. 900 is for,
It's another one.
900 is for window cleaning. For Momentum. Which is a fourth company that we've had look into that stuff. So this is just stuff to put in front of you. If we decide to go with somebody cleaning windows, I think I would go with Momentum just because they already work at the sheriff's department and they've given us probably the second lowest bid. The lowest bid we got was from a gentleman who never came out here and looked at anything. He just threw a bid for $800 out there and he hasn't even seen what we've got. So, I don't know if you want to keep that kind of stuff with the same guy. So if we decide to in the future, do anything with window cleaning, I'd probably go with these guys. So, this is just some information for you guys to take a look at, as we go forward with trying to maintain the building.
We're gonna act on the cleaning today, would you like us to, or?
Put it on here that they're able to if they want
Oh,
to. They don't
okay,
have
if
an
you
option.
want to, yeah,
The cleaning, I really don't have a lot of problem with.
okay.
There's a lot of windows in their eyes, so that's, never like spending that much money, but
Well,
We
that
still gotta keep the
is
courthouse
for
up.
inside and outside both.
Yeah.
That's, that'd be 2 times a year is kind of what I'm looking for these guys to do. And if I look at the building maintenance part of our budget, that gets in there without any real problems, so. Then the other thing,
So the awning cleaning was 340
yeah,
and the windows were 928.
and Amy said she'd do the gutters, she'd just get a cherry picker.
Sure.
I did for $9,000, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, we can get some more prices on that, so.
Yeah,
But I'll come in, I have no problem, that's ridiculous.
I would make the motion to move forward with, hiring Momentum Exterior Services to clean the awning and the windows. This 928 is a per cleaning or for an annual contract?
that's per visit.
That's my motion.
Are you gonna throw in the 340 for the awning too, or?
Yeah,
So it comes to
340 and 928.
1268, right?
Yes, sir.
Been a motion made and seconded to approve the bid for window and awning cleaning, $1,268. Any further discussion? Questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, and the last thing I've got is, we finally received information from the insurance group on the damaged ceiling out here in the hallway. And their net claim on that is gonna be $18,847.97. That is, after the $500 deductible that the courthouse has to pay. I gave you folks 2 bids earlier. We were only able to get 2 bids on the ceiling, and one was from Ideal, who did the ceiling in the basement, and that was for 14,000 and change. I don't have that
That's fine.
with me right now. And the other one was like 60,000. So they booted the 60,000 one, took the Ideal number and then crunched their own numbers and came up with a price of 18,847. So Ideal is right where these guys are as far as replacing that ceiling. I guess, I just need to know how we want to go forward on that.
It needs fixed. If we're receiving insurance money for it, we need to fix it, otherwise they won't cover it later, so.
So,
I would say we have a formal action, can we move forward with Ideal, Richard? You have a
Yeah,
problem with
I
that?
think go ahead and get it done. We gotta keep the courthouse up.
I will make the motion to move forward with hiring Ideal contractors, Ideal, okay, to replace the ceiling per the bid of approximately $14,000 that Mr. Poole has. Does that work?
yeah, or we just put the net claim of 18 here and that would give us,
Covers it.
coverage. If they have something that ends up costing them, they put their bid in 2 months ago.
That's fine.
So I don't know how much stuff has gone up or gone down since then, but
We can just state an insurance claim total of,
18,877, yeah.
is that all right? I'll second. A motion made and seconded to approve Ideal Contractors to take care of the ceiling that needs to be repaired in the courthouse with insurance claim of $18,847.97.
I did talk to Ideal about that ceiling repair, and that's gonna be something that will be done after hours. And that's how the bid was done, sure, after hours and on weekends. And, I believe they figured it might take about 2 weeks to get that done. So I did talk with the other offices to see if they had a problem having those folks in here at night. They don't.
No, they
So,
do, just keep the communication up there, we can lock it in.
Yeah. yeah, they'll probably use the Sally Port kind of as a staging area for all their material. so it's not out in the hallway. And,
Is the garage door fixed to get them in and out of it, Philly?
what's that?
Is the garage door fixed to get them in and out?
Oh, the garage doors, we've never had a problem with the garage door, with the software. That got fixed.
Good.
So,
What matters?
we're good to go there.
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Something I would like to look at is a $500 deductible. Low.
Yeah, that's, that was according to Kevin, our ISAC,
Yeah.
point on this, who I haven't been able to get a hold of. This actually came in, I left messages with the guy. This came in from, Jeanette Fish, so may have to touch base with her. Do you want some kind of a better clarity on if that $500 was really where we're at, or?
Well, that's our deductible, and that's what we're paying our rates on now, so.
Yeah.
I would look at what our rates, I would wanna look at the rest of our deductibles, compare them to our rates if we went to $2,000.
I think he would, yeah. 'Cause normally you get a break on your rates if your deductible's higher.
But that's what they brought in, if we changed that, remember in the beginning that meant everything else was going up and it was gonna end, we would end up paying more in the end because of how much with what the deputies have to deal with and stuff. We have so many claims that it wouldn't benefit us at this point. We'll never get this amount back, kind of grandfathered in.
Sure.
Yeah. But that,
Thank you,
he did
sir.
bring the options
Thanks.
earlier, and that was, yeah.
Steve, have you tried to couple the local guys for these gutters?
Yeah, he's
Well,
all
yeah,
over that.
Gator does them, and they,
Yeah, who'd you suppose the last one?
Gator,
No.
they're out of Malvern.
Well, I have their number.
Okay,
I'll give those guys a
at
call.
least give them a shot.
Yeah.
If I could think of a couple
He's been
more
calling
here,
people for like a year, nobody wants to touch him.
yeah, someone will. Just try to stay
I'll,
local.
Yeah, I'll get them all of those.
Yeah,
All right, thanks.
thank you.
Thank you, go back on your vacation now. You came in just for this.
Okay.
They got his leg up again.
Well, Maya? You're up.
You guys are up.
Excellent. To put the presentation up?
I think he's got it, here he comes.
Oh, okay.
He's got it ready to go for you, for what you sent yesterday, it's already. And that's your packets I gave you guys at the beginning of the meeting.
Richard Brown. Harlan, Chairman Brown. Harlan, good to see ya.
I was gonna close all that, I'm glad I didn't.
And that's what you're looking for.
Excellent, yes.
You'll be able to click through on to this next slide whenever they're.
Thanks, Patrick.
Excellent. Well, good morning.
You guys wanna drive?
Good morning. We're here to talk about the long-range transportation plan. We are MAPA, part of the MAPA staff.
I was gonna do that.
We'll go through a little presentation.
Don't let us stop you. Take it where you see.
So first, a little background in case you haven't heard of what MAPA is or who MAPA is. It's sort of confusing. We wear many, many hats. We're the Council of Governments for both Nebraska and Iowa counties, total of 6 different counties. We're also the Metropolitan Planning Organization on the Nebraska and the urban area of Potawatomi, mainly Council Bluffs. And we also serve this regional planning affiliation on the Iowa side, representing Harrison, Shelby, Potawatomi, and Mills counties. What does that mean? What do we do? Part of our planning function is to help disperse federal funds distributed to us by Iowa DOT. So our main function is to help and serve all the cities, communities, and counties within Harrison, Shelby, Potawatomi, and Mills. What kind of funding is this? This is for transportation projects, mainly roadway resurfacing. If there's some safety problems and concerns, we can come out and look and help local communities meet and achieve their great. That is awesome for me. Today, we're going to talk about our long-range transportation plan. We're required by Iowa DOT to update our long-range transportation plan every 5 years, and it's time. We're due for a new one. Last time this was done was during the pandemic period. I don't know if everyone remembers that, but that's what it is. And so what is the LRTP, and am I going the right way? Yeah, okay. And we'll talk about the differences, and I brought along Mia, who's leading our charge, will take over.
So I'll briefly go over what that is, what the long-range transportation plan is, a little bit of a review of the last iteration and what we're planning for this version. So as Carlos said, for the larger urban areas, it's a federal requirement to have a long-range transportation plan. For the regional planning affiliations, which is the more rural areas, it's a requirement of the Iowa DOT. And as Carlos said, we update it every 5 years, and the next update is due November of next year, so just over a year from now. So what the transportation plan does is it looks at the current status of the transportation system, and that means everything. That means infrastructure, railroads, airports, everything, and looks forward to what is needed in the future. And it helps with planning, with transportation planning, and it also helps to program how to make investments, like where to make investments and what's prioritizing and things like that. So we do this by looking at a lot of things. We look at demographic trends, we take inventory of the infrastructure and the status of it. We look at things like freight movement, safety analysis, financial analysis, changes in land use. But the reason we're here today is because we also need public input and we need stakeholder input. It's impossible for us to know the day-to-day needs that people are facing, the concerns they have for the future, things like safety or things like they can't get to where they need to go, or when there's flooding, what road are they going to use if the road they normally use. So all those things we can't possibly, by looking at the data, we can't possibly know all that. So we have a couple maps here, and I believe Richard has been through this. We'll have you look at these maps and put some stickers on it or some sticky notes to give us an idea of your concerns in the region. But without public input or stakeholder input, we can't do this, we can't complete it. And then we also, that helps us prioritize the goals. And as you'll see, so in the last iteration, we had the goals of preservation, which is basically maintaining what already exists, increasing safety, making plans based on taking into account, the need for economic development, protecting the environment, giving people options and choices, and also taking into account what's going on around. So a road, for example, so land use and how communities are growing. And we kind of reprioritize the goals for this year. Oh, I guess before I get into the next iteration, just a summary of what we found during the last LRTP update. Some of the main findings were that there's more traffic on rural roads, there's more farming activity, and the farm parcels tend to be more scattered. And so that creates more travel on secondary roads, possibly putting too much of a burden on them, possibly increasing the need for maintenance and routine and long-term maintenance. Also, people travel further away from work, so and most people travel alone in a private vehicle. So there's basically more travel. However, we looked at the period of time from 1940 to 2010, and although in more urban areas there were increases in population, in rural areas there were decreases in population overall. But the region as a whole in that 70-year period, the population had a downward trend. It was decreasing, and the population was also aging. So those are some things we need to take into account And then, like I said, with the help of our PA committee, we prioritized and updated the goals a little bit. Safety ended up being on top, and then transportation options, basically making choices available to people, not necessarily just driving, but maybe public transit, maybe trails, maybe active transportation, things like that. And then we added the resilience component to the preservation because of, the need to address natural disasters and around here that tends to be mostly flooding. And then economic vitality, basically examining how transportation can facilitate things like economic development, maybe enhance travel and tourism. And then finally, being consistent between transportation improvements and how communities are growing. And so right now, we're in the beginning stages, still in the beginning stages, where we need to talk to the public, do public engagement, community engagement events, which is why we're here. And then starting in the early spring until the summer, we'll be working on the first draft, and then that'll be open for public comment next summer. And then we'll finalize everything starting at the end of the summer into next fall. So basically what we're asking is your input. What are your biggest needs? What are your biggest concerns? What do you think is important that needs to be included in the long-range transportation plan? And any other thoughts and comments you may have. You'll see when we do the map exercise, we have these categories that we'd like you to think about when you give us your thoughts. And we kind of color coded things, so if it has to do with safety and security, we have stickers of different colors, so you'll put a red star where your safety concerns are, you'll put a green star if your concern is about economic development and so on. And then we can go back to the slide maybe, but we also have it on the map, we have and if you're colorblind or you don't want to work with colors, we also have stickers you can put a number on it and figure it out that way. We also have a survey, we have some flyers that we can hand out with that information. It's on our website. It's pretty easy, pretty quick. You can give more input than just the questions, and you can actually go to a map and click on exactly on the map where your concerns are. So
So not a promise that everything's gonna get done, but it gives us direction on how we prioritize our limited transportation dollars that we have for the region. And, we're gonna be checking in on some of the demographic trends, doing another analysis on that. But just as Mia was saying, we are trending down in terms of population outside the urbanized areas. And a growing aging population, which implies additional safety and concerns regarding mental health, right? People wishing to stay in their homestead or their family housing, but not having a lot of mobility options to fulfill their daily needs, like going to grocery stores or medical facilities. So, yeah, that's where we're at, and appreciate all your time. And I promised Carol that I was gonna do that several times, so we'll do that in case we don't get everything today.
Yeah, she is at another meeting today.
With the governor's luncheon, I believe.
It's in Atlantic.
Yeah.
feel free to participate.
Yeah, stick your nose in here, buddy. You drive here, so
Yeah.
get to and from.
If there's like safety concerns we should be aware about.
Which safety was red?
The red. The red little
Yeah.
stars.
And
And
if you
just
wanna
like
write a note too, that would
Yeah.
help us.
to remember what
Where's
it
the
is.
taper
and-
room 34? Is that this one right here? Right there.
So what's going on there?
There's lots of traffic that we hear about constantly from on 34 anyway, but when it's.
Well, even up here, it doesn't show well where Bungie or 370 and
Yeah, but right there, I mean,
29,
the traffic light or something needs to help these people. They cannot turn onto the road because 34 is going.
Keep us, you just keep it on one map or both?
No, this is for, it doesn't really matter, but this is for, current and this is for future, but as long as we have notes, that's fine.
Sure.
so do you want the safety ones over here or what?
This is for what you, think is needed in the future, and this is for what you're concerned about right now. But as long as
I
there's
want
a
it for
note,
future and for right now.
yeah, as long as there's a note by it, we'll figure it out.
It doesn't show it.
And then if you guys do anything, like these smaller towns, but we don't have anything to do with their infrastructure, but for them having funds for roads and stuff,
Yeah,
like
and,
Henderson or Hastings, you know,
so Glenwood, the city of Glenwood was a recipient of some of our transportation dollars, that we oversee for the resurfacing on, I got turned around. Hold on the main street.
okay, right here.
And so that was some of the funding that was made available. And I think some of the dynamics are changing too. Some of the traffic patterns that we're seeing is within town, people have a concern about being able to make it walkable across the street. But sometimes we have these county roads that move a lot of bigger vehicles, right? Freight traffic, but they don't tend to respect the speed limits. And so we have some safety concerns with that
34.
throughout the region. So that's something we keep hearing consistently.
We're always concerned about the bridges and stuff here in Mills
That's what I was trying
County.
to think of. Our bigger bridges are in good shape. It's
Right.
just,
We got some smaller ones that need help. Another one is driveway entrances, when you talk about county roads. I don't know who's gonna help us out on this. The legislators are looking at it, but the width of this equipment on the average width of combines, tractors now is 14 feet.
Okay.
So you've got a 12-foot lane on a normal highway. You have a 22-foot top on most gravel roads. So, and then, there's all the intersections and stuff, on 34, getting on and off of 34 is almost, like this morning, I always try and hit 34 about 20 after 7 off of my road. And the traffic light, if you're 10 minutes earlier or 10 minutes later, we help you, sir?
Can I vote now?
You have to talk to the people behind you.
Okay. Not yet? Okay.
Oh, no, wait a second, help me.
So,
But, there's areas like that gonna have to be looked at, so, and nobody really wants controlled intersections, but that's what it's gonna have to come to.
And how much is the county spending on, say, public transportation? Because SWIDA operates in Mills County.
Right.
Do you guys have a contract service with you?
Right.
Yes, yes.
they did well.
They are, I sit on that board and they bend over backwards when we get our monthly report from the transportation guy. How many miles, how many hours, how many pickups, how many drop-offs,
You always see them.
always increasing.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's an increasing need. Okay.
And our biggest haul is to OSI in Oakland. We have 2 48 passenger buses that run 3 schedules, so there's 6 busloads of people going to Omaha, back to work. It's unreal. Then, of course, the one thing, excuse me, the one thing they can't do is bus transportation for schools. That's one thing that the state will not allow yet, so we're kind of glad in a way because we don't think we can handle, we got 78 bus drivers just in that alone.
Yeah.
And trying for more,
Yeah.
so. But no, like I say, so where do you just wanna, if I just make a note of bridges, driveways and intersections and stick it in Mills County?
Yeah.
That would be
Use a
good.
bigger one if you want.
Yeah, and if you have a locations outside of Mills County that correlate with some of these, tell Shelby what to do.
You don't touch Shelby.
They are on the map. I didn't think they'd even be on the map.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Must
and
be
like,
nice.
if you have,
play nice.
future plans for population centers or employment centers, I know for a fact we've been working on,
Wheelhouse, is it?
A rural one.
Rural water,
and
save more
Bungie,
transportation.
Yeah.
that connection has been,
Make a note of it though.
applied for several,
So you need.
Right, that
you think
intersection
like
of
a rural
needs,
water
yeah, most
district?
definitely.
and then
There's
the
one
sister
here,
site is in
Oh.
Mega Site,
Glenwood
that
Mills,
Right,
Glenwood, Malvern,
but
and
even
Emerson's
without
water
that,
plants could handle some.
When it goes to 2 lanes.
Updates or.
No, they can handle the growth outside of it,
Oh,
okay.
because they're making up water, it's just getting the
That's why
lines to.
for these
I see.
intersections where there's constant traffic, even, Malvern is like, but that Tabor one is
Similar
one that we
broadband.
hear quite a bit about, that people come
Yeah.
from this direction
Yeah.
for work and they're getting stuck there and then.
Safety, I can't think of any new bridges or, you make, 34's 4 lanes through us anyway. Yeah. At least west.
The only thing they're gonna do to 34 is your, passing lanes. They told us they're just gonna make them longer, bring them down to the base of the hill so the trucks can get over and the cars can move on by.
Economic development, we really don't have, we only got that one area laid out there.
and, I think next week, just while you guys are thinking and we're working through this,
Mega site.
next week, we're having our Council of Officials meeting over in, Council Bluffs at one of the casinos, I believe it's Harrah's Casino. And we have invited, a speaker from the, Great Trails Network, to come speak. So he's gonna be there at the Council of Officials. If you can't make it to that in the evening, we're also hosting a separate RPA meeting to talk about trail coordination. I've heard word that there's additional requests or input with regards to connecting some of the trails in Mills County and making additional connections to the west, that other state to the west of us here. And so we'll have a couple conversations coming up next week to speak about trails and how all these things connect.
We'd like to see ours connected to as many as possible. People use them. I can't think of any other stickers that. Yeah, Wilson's, they really-
You can always,
Go on.
something comes to mind later.
Yes,
just-
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
Either
And
do the
share it with
survey or-
other people.
yes.
Let them know we're accepting input. Let us know.
Right.
No project too small.
Well, if they come back with a lower count on traffic on 34 this year, I'm gonna have to say that
They'll be
they
lying.
need
Yeah.
better counters. Or kids that don't fall asleep or something,
Yeah, we're
Great,
supposed to have new counts. So the southwest portion of Iowa was supposed to be counted in 2020, but because things were a little weird, they discounted those counts. This year, we've been talking to Iowa DOT with regards to the counts. As soon as we get them, we'll start sharing them with our local communities and partners to make sure that we all have the latest data. So,
Ballots will get into the 16th, is actually. That just got the reminder and everything, but about.
well, another thing, a lot of the highways around here are 55. That's just pickup speed. You know, you need to, I followed the car up 59 yesterday. It kept getting further and further ahead of me. I thought, well, I'm just want to keep up with it. Yeah, we're running 75 miles an hour going north on 59. And she almost blew through the stop sign there at right south of Oakland, you know. She finally realized after the second rumble strips, oh, I gotta stop. But, you know, well, people seem to make themselves busy or doing things. Driving to me is driving. You know, you've got the vehicle, you're supposed to take care of it and you and the other person out on the road. And you got cell phones, you got messaging, you've got everything coming at you. And they say, well, it's okay if you put it through your radio or something like that. No, you're not looking at the road.
Yeah, that's a common concern we've been hearing throughout the region, whether it's a small community, large county, or an urbanized center. One of the biggest concerns has been speeding as of lately. And nationwide, it's pretty prevalent and something that a lot of planners in our realm have been trying to figure out. I hear that in Iowa, they do have speeding cameras in a couple other communities out to the east. And so that's one measure of additional enforcement. Police cannot be there all the time, right? We can't pay our police officers, our sheriffs, enough to police some of these concerns. And so cameras and technology present a viable option, right? Especially here where it's allowed. On the Nebraska side, that's not the case. And so, you know, is that something you guys wish to pursue or look at or investigate further to help reduce and cut down on some of these incidences of where speeding is the primary concern? You know, I think on the Iowa side, some of the big ticket items are speeding, distracted driving, and a large majority of people not wearing seatbelts. Still, you know, and you know, most major new cars really ding at you, let you know that they're not happy when you don't wear your seatbelt. But people are still driving without their seatbelts, and it becomes a deadly thing when you combine high rates of speed, distracted driving, and the lack of seatbelts. And this, why do we care? Why do we assume that this is bad for everyone as a society? It's because of the cost. There's an economic cost of lost productivity. There's an economic cost of fire and response, spending additional time responding to these incidences, right? There's health and mental trauma behind a loss of life. So it really adds up when you look at things like this. So, you know, the best way or the best ways we can start curbing some of these behavioral issues with people behind the wheel, the better, I think.
Is there anything in any of these programs that would help stabilize or help in emergency services?
I think safety, one of the components and things that we're doing, we're following a systemic safety approach that looks at multiple different ways of looking at safety. Safety in terms of the vehicle itself, safety as in terms of the people outside the vehicle, safety on our roadways, our designing of the roadways. And one of the other pieces there is emergency response. So we are going to look at that as well, if we can. I know the urbanized area, we're doing a big safety action plan where we're looking at emergency response.
I mean, I've talked to Dave Zeke down there on the bottom, you know, him and his brother got signed up for all that solar. And then we got the solar farm that's gonna be built over here on, put that in as what, economic development?
Yeah, it's closed on that side.
I got it coming up, right?
That would be over here, right?
Right here at Indian Creek.
Yeah, so you need a green one on that. Green star, right there.
You're taking these to all cities and counties and.
Mainly focusing on the counties, there's too many cities.
Yeah.
Closer to. Oh, that's supposed to be Anderson.
And that's why we have the website open to, to allow others to like spread the word, get us information. The next month,
So that's a
October.
solar farm?
which we're in now,
Yeah, there's a new solar farm right in here,
we,
in America.
we're
And
opening
then
up
there
our
also
call
will be
for
a large
applications.
solar farm.
So this year, we're gonna focus on the transportation
Comes down to
alternative
this
set
really.
aside. So if thinking about trails, sidewalk connections,
That's the
safe
proposal,
routes to
right?
spirit,
Okay.
how we can
You know,
improve and enhance projects that connect and or extend some of these important components in the roadways. So that's gonna be opening up later this month, and we'll be taking applications from cities, communities throughout the RTA region. I think we usually open mid-October and have application open till the last week of January. And if you need additional assistance or to work through some of this stuff, happy to come out and talk.
I don't know of anything else.
I can't think of anything either, Richard.
Just
Cool idea though.
take these flyers and
Cool.
tell your friends. We'll leave some with you if you want.
Okay, we'll mix them. Thank you so much.
Definitely appreciate
Both
this
these, both these maps are the same then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, as long as we got your notes, we'll figure it out.
We just mixed it all into one map.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
No, we appreciate it.
Tough bags too.
Give everything back to them.
Unless you want, you want extra stars?
No, that's just.
You get an extra star for showing up here.
Sometimes you show.
I couldn't say that's really what we want some days.
The black check mark will go a long ways too.
Well, I really appreciate what goes on up there, and you take time and stuff.
Well, it's also good to hear from people who actually live in the places that we are trying to help. So when you live in Omaha, you don't know necessarily what's going on in those counties.
Right.
Right.
Well,
Well,
You should.
Carol reminds us, Carol reminds us.
I bet she does, that's good.
well, I get kind of growly that, why do we have to go through a company based in Omaha for our money and stuff? Why can't it be somebody in Iowa where, you get further to the east and stuff, yes, they have different calls and things, but, some of the projects and stuff that we go through and the amount of money that lays in Omaha or stays in Omaha or pay people, I think should be in Iowa, but that's my own opinion, so. And let me tell you, some of the leaders up there and I have had to go around because I still stick with SWITA or SWIPCO, either one, and they say, well, you're not using our services like you should. I says, you don't serve us like they serve us, so.
Well, they're wanting to, so.
We try.
We're trying.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys,
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
We'll take care of those.
Okay.
Well, I think that concludes our,
Yeah, having no further business, I would make the motion to adjourn at 9:56.
second motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.